Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Raid Shadow Legends. Now, you guys might have noticed this in my video yesterday. It's been sitting here behind my head. It's been really annoying, and it's really hard not to click on this because, well, I cleared Marius's missions about 2 days ago, and it is staring at me in the face to click my rewards. Now, I am doing the absolute best not to collect it, which is really difficult because unlike Arbiter, when I did that, Marius is an insanely better character. And so what we're going to be talking about in today's video, though, is all of the things that you can do to kind of help you along on the Marius missions a little bit faster. There were some major pitfalls for me when I was doing my grind. I wasn't constantly grinding it all the time. And I'm basically doing this within I think about 1 year. I'm almost at my 1 year anniversary because I want to look at the daily login calendar. Yeah, I'm basically 3 days off from a full year. Now, you could probably do this a lot quicker. I know some people in my clan who have done it in like 8 or 9 months. And maybe there's some record, right? I'm not saying this is a record break by any means. But I want to talk about, what was the hardest for me and some of the things that you should look out for in your grind for areas if you want to do it a little bit quicker. So before we get started with the rest of the video, though, I do want to remind people that if you haven't started playing Raid yet, what are you waiting for? Download using the QR code in the top right hand of the screen to get Narma the Returned absolutely free, and also these three amazing epics. We got Allure, we got Tagore, and we got Ruella, my personal favorite, at accounts level 10, 20, and 30. And don't forget that you can use this promo code here to Hanorrak, the Void Legendary Champion, by using the promo code Desert Queen within the first 48 hours of a brand new account. Absolutely amazing support legendary champion there. So let's get started, right? Marius is, of course, an amazing champ. Let's just go over him really quick. I don't have him. I didn't have him. I'm waiting for something. Maybe a champion chase, maybe a CVC. I don't know. I can't believe I'm actually, honestly, waiting on this, but I am. And because he comes along with this amazing Enfeeble debuff, which is, I wouldn't say, it is pretty unique. I mean, very few people actually have this. And this is an AoE A1 with a 35% up to 50% chance. With obviously, we're booking Marius. Marius is getting books, right? Defense-based champion as well. So the scaling is defense-based, but that means that he's going to be very sturdy, which is good. His A2 is a triple AoE attack, which decreases the duration of enemy buffs by 1, and it's an enemy max HP attack, too, on a cooldown of 3 with books. Crazy. Increase accuracy, and also 60% defense up on all allies for 3 turns. Not just 2 turns, which is usual for most champions, but 3 turns, and then places a stun debuff on the enemy with the highest turn meter for 1 turn. This guy's just a beast, like, just for everything. Honestly, for most content. And he gets an extra turn. So it's on a cooldown of 4. So you can go basically from the A3 into the A2, right? And this is going to be really good because you get the accuracy then to decrease durations of enemy buffs. Champion is immune to turn meter reduction effects. This is great also for PvP. So, the fact that I'm sitting on this is wild. And then also, and decrease speed debuffs. Whenever an enemy changes forms, this is actually pretty nice, or attempts to decrease the champion's turn meter, counterattack with the A1. Okay, so yeah, it's punishing a little bit those mythical champions a little bit when they change forms, assuming he's not controlled. So you're gonna want to put him in a stone skin set, is what I see almost all the time. At least some good stone skin defense-based DPS gear, because you're gonna want to get him up to 100% crit, getting that stack that crit damage. But trying to do that with stone skin gear coming from Hydra is going to be really important. So we'll see how things progress with my gear for Marius, because I feel like I need to make a very specific build that I'm not sure if I have the gear to do. But I want to talk about the Marius mission. So Hell Hades, the Hell Hades website, has a really great list for all of this, including the breakdown of all the missions and all that stuff. And I want to kind of look at this, right? There is quite a few. There's 180 missions in total, and a lot of it kind of focuses on hard dungeon bosses, live PvP, Hydra, Cursed City especially, which we're going to make a special mention to, because the reason why I actually just cleared this was that I ran my Cursed City this rotation. I went around collecting all 3 of the keys, which was this buff here, this boss here, which wasn't that bad. That one wasn't the bad one. I believe the bad one was this one over here, the dragon and the Fire Knight Hard, because it basically, for me anyways, and you can see some of the champions, I don't have a whole lot of selection there, is mostly high elf based champions with, I believe, some undead and a few other things. So this was my team, and this was very hard for me to clear this boss, and then that led me to Amius. I actually think Amius rotations this month is not pretty good. If you have a whole selection of dwarfs to use, you have Donatello, you have like big damage characters that are going to help you through there. I did cheese a little bit with Newt, and I do happen to have Admiral Blacktusk and Senna. So yeah, obviously some of this did really help for me anyways. I guess mileage will vary on each month of Amius. But this is really important because if you can't clear Amius hard, you cannot beat basically the last mission of Marius. So let's do a bit of a breakdown of some of the places where, there's going to be a pretty big difference. So it's pretty, as long as you've done your dungeon progression, a lot of this is going to not be so bad, right? We have Sand Devils, Phantom Shogun. You're going to eventually have to max these out, so just keep that in mind. And also hard dungeons, you will also have to beat. So all those basically have to be done to the maximum stage for you to eventually get Marius. But there's a few things that I want to point out that kind of stop people a little bit, especially these Iron Twins Fortress. There's a couple of later ones in Iron Twins Fortress, I believe, and I should have maybe done this in advance. I should have highlighted some of these. Earn 120 Immortal Soul Coins from selling. So, make sure that you do have some stuff that you can sell as well in your Altar of Souls. So don't just go around and just like keep some stuff in your soul collection, because there are some missions where you do have to sell stuff off in order to actually get Immortal Soul Coins. It's not Eternal Soul Coins, it's mostly the immortal ones. So make sure that you just have, I don't know, I know I'm not getting immortal soul coins there, but just make sure that you have some stuff that you can sell off to get that. That's going to be really important, because if you get those missions and you don't have it, that's a bit of an issue. Also, there is Ascension artifacts and accessories. Some of these can be a pain in the ass, like in general, because it asks for certain ranks. It asks for level 4 ascended artifacts or level 6 ascended artifacts later on. So if you've already gone ahead and ascended a lot of your good gear, you're going to have to find some new gear to ascend. So that can be a bit of a pain in the ass as well. So I just want to let people know about that one too. There's a lot of like random live arena stuff. And the most annoying for some people can be the farming of mythical artifacts. So this is going to require you to do as basically as high up as you can get. But I do want to point out that there is a big difference between farming mythical accessories, which can only be done in Spider's Den. An artifact is obviously not an accessory, but some people actually forget this. So they will go and try to farm Hard Spider, who I believe is actually pretty easy. You just need some AoE damage, and then he drops over pretty easily, and it's fast actually too. But you cannot use this to farm your artifact, your mythical artifact. So you'll have to maybe do it in Dragon's Lair, which tends to be the easiest hard dungeon for you to be able to conquer and be able to get it through that way. And also, when you're doing your filters for this, make sure, okay, I did my faction wars there. When you're doing your filters, make sure that you're not selling gear, because I believe that if you sell the gear, that it does not count as obtaining it for the mythical pieces. So you can see right here, my filters are selling all 5-star gear. That's just for me. However, you can still get 5-star mythical gear. So if you're on this quest, make sure you're careful about what you're selling off, because if you sell it, it won't count towards the mission objective. So just another pitfall there that I want to let people know about when you're farming for Marius. Now, some of the other things down here, there are certain, and I want to kind of point this out. Cursed City. There are certain quests related to Cursed City, but particular stages. So you can see this one, Mission 43, clear stage C5, it was on hard mode. Now, these represent certain bosses, if I'm not mistaken. So this first one is here, is C5 Agrath. This is the Nether Spider. So this is the first kind of major block that you might have. Now, for me, like I have right now, I have Mithrala, and I think one of my other rotations now, I have Donatello, who does some AoE cleansing. So this can be really challenging if you don't have a AoE cleanse character. These are some where you might actually just need to build a specific character in order to get through the rotation. And obviously, you might also just need to wait for a wider roster. That just might be a thing as well. Some ways to counter the Nether Spider, stealing those counterattack buffs from the spiders, which I do with Wukong, and then also being able to AoE cleanse from those the on spawn for poisons that come on every character. It can be pretty brutal. So I just want to point out certain ones, and then there's awaken stages. This isn't that bad, but you need to make sure that you have red stars that you can do some of these early awaken stages. It's not bad. There's like 1, 2, 3 in the cobble market, so that'll clear some of the other ones. And I think it might go to a maximum of 4, but I just want to kind of point out the different parts where there are Cursed City quests. We have stage C8 as mission 57. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that one is the Doom Scarab. Oh, no, we're not there yet. Okay, so there is a quest to do the Doom Scarab, which I was able to solo clear with Michelangelo. For those people who do have him, he is a pretty easy. I did a separate video on that. I might have to do it again about how to easily clear Doom Scarab with Mikey, and it's super easy even on Cursed City hard mode. So which one is that one again? I forget, actually. C8. It's been a while since I was back that far, so I guess it's over here somewhere, right? C... It's the boss. C8. Oh, Bommel. Oh, so this guy sucks. I think this guy's even might be on par or as worse than Doom Scarab. You can see on this rotation, I got like next to nothing. Behind me, I got Ugo. I got some Ogren stuff. It is terrible. And if I did not have my Commodus Dark Smile, I probably would have been screwed. So a good way to deal with Bommel is if just to freeze his bombs. That'll reduce the damage that you take by 50%, but also making sure that you have a block buffs debuff because he can get a protected attack up. So you need to be able to deal with that as well. Bommel, I hate Bommel. I still hate Bommel. So this is kind of one of the worst ones that you need to be careful about. Sometimes you just might be blocked until next month's rotation. Some of the other ones that come later on for Cursed City, though, I'm just jumping ahead a little bit. 3 Awakened stages for Cursed City. Stage C24 on hard mode. So that must still be in Cobble Market. C24, just an Awakened mission here. That's a little bit surprising. So that shouldn't be too bad anyways there. D9, Cursed City hard mode. That's got to be back to this Doom Scarab. Yeah, okay, so that's Doom Scarab here again as well. So as far as boss modes that you need to clear, boss nodes that you need to clear, and then after that, 4 Awakened stages, D17, 40 stages, and then there's Amius towards the end. So D17, I believe, is this one over here, this Irrigath. Yeah, okay, so I haven't quite done that yet on the current rotation, but that's not so bad. I don't think that the Eternal Dragon or whatever his name is that difficult of a boss mechanics. So it just depends on what characters that you have available for this. You might just have a terrible rotation with terrible champions. So, mileage will vary because I think different people will have different characters in their roster. Now, aside from that, there were a few other ones that I wanted to point out, Cursed City aside, and that is going to be the mortal coins, mortal soul essences, and I think they talk about it here as well. Key roadblock missions. So this one took forever, and it's near the end actually that I want to kind of point. Oh no, here. Oh, earn 40 immortal soul essences down here in the third part at number 35, but also this one earn 80 immortal soul essences from the Iron Twins Fortress. So in together, you have to do 120 specifically in a short amount of time. And so what I ended up doing when I got to those parts, I actually was refreshing Fortress keys. I didn't do it every day, but I would do it occasionally, and I would definitely do it on the weekend, on Sunday when you had the Void rotation, because if I got lucky, right, the drops here on Void is double, so you're getting 8 to 12 per drop. So if you get lucky with a drop, you're getting quite a bit of this, and you want to run as many as you can to get through it. It is a grind. It took me a few weeks to get through this, but I was also spending 150 gems a couple of times a week in order to push this a little bit faster. So this is definitely something that you'll have to maybe save some gems for to make sure that you're kind of watching out for that. Where was the, yeah, there were the key resources, mythical artifacts from dungeons. That's just going to be a bit of a pain in the ass. It's going to cost a lot of energy. It's going to cost some gems. So save up and wait for that. Make sure, though, that you're not doing like what I said, is you're accidentally pre-selling the gear off before they hit your inventory, because then it won't count. Other than that, it's just you pray to Talaria's gods, you pray to the Arbiter, and hope that you get the drops. It can be a bit of a grind there as well. And then they talk about other resources you should save, which we kind of walk through a little bit here. Ascension material, so this is going to be your Sand Devils and your Shogun, because there are going to be lots of missions that require you to go to 4-star Ascension, but also to 6-star Ascension. And you got to be careful, because if you do it too early, it won't trigger for the quest. And that's most important. So if you're able to, if you have some decent pieces that you're okay with waiting for a little bit, get it to, say, 3-star Ascension. Leave it there, and then when you get to these missions, then you can push it a little bit further in order to fulfill that. So you're not having to spend too much extra resources or looking around for gear that you don't really actually want to upgrade. The Mystic Market currency we talked about already, so you will need to actually purchase from the Soul Market as well. So not only do you need to sell your own souls, but you sell your soul to for Marius, but you also need to go into the the Soul Merchant and you'll occasionally need to buy some of these, especially blue. Let's say just like buy 4 of these or buy 6 of these or whatever. Just buy a bunch of blue ones and it'll fulfill the requirements for that. It's not so bad. You'll have to spend a little bit of these, but it's not the end of the world. That one, and then Spare Souls, we talked about that. Clan Gold. This is not that big of a deal because I think people should be sitting on a decent amount of Clan Gold if you're going for Marius anyways, but occasionally it does say buy 10 things from the clan shop or something like that, but you can choose what you want. It's not that big of a deal. And then Great Hall Crest. This is for live arena. There is a handful of really annoying live arena matches, but it's just going to be a bit of a grind. So as far as I don't think it doesn't specifically mandate any arena bonuses, but it does say spend a certain amount of these for you to get the bonuses, right? So you will have to participate a little bit in some live arena in order to get Marius. And at the very end, or near the very end, there is a grind mission where you have to do 40 live arena wins. Super big pain in the ass, and I hope that they make some fixes to live arena in early 2026. I heard in the roadmap that there might be something coming, or making it more available so that you can play it at all times. But Marius is definitely worth the grind. If you have the roster to be able to do it, push as soon as you beat Arbiter. Make sure you're pushing the Marius missions because this guy is an absolute beast, and you do want to have him in your roster. And you may have seen it when you get crushed in arena or something like that because of how hard he hits and all the things that he does, because he is that good. Also, he's a skinwalker, which for me, anyways, I don't have a lot of, so he's definitely going to help me in the faction areas there as well. I know, yeah, everyone helps in faction crypts, but he's going to be amazing in pretty much everywhere that you can use him, and I am very excited to look forward to building him and putting him into other places in my game. But that's it for me. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Where are you in your Marius progression? I hope that some of this helps at least to kind of give you an idea of kind of what you need to look forward to. But also, Cursed City is a pretty big roadblock, I guess, because those only change once a month. Anyways, before we end the video, I do want to remind people that if you haven't started playing Raid yet, what are you waiting for? Download using the QR code in the top right hand of the screen to get Dharma the Returned. Recently reworked, absolutely free. And you can also get these 3 amazing epics, Allure, Tagore, and Ruella at accounts level 10, 20, and 30. And don't forget that you can use the promo code Desert Queen to get to Hanorach, the Void Legendary support champion of the Barbarian faction. She is amazing. Make sure you do this within the first 48 hours of a brand new account. That's it for me, everybody, and I'll see you all on the next video. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.